Crosa and Dylan Todd, and they are our resident artists. I'm Linda, and I will be the moderator for this talk. I'm trying to make sure everybody knows their handles, so excuse me as I type away. I'm very grateful for you tuning in to our live today, where we're going to be talking with them as well as Derek Kearney of the Social Art Guide. They're all online. I'm just going to put all their handles here real quick so you can follow them, get to know them better as artists, and know their work. We're here at the Complete Sweet Shop, and we are a cupcake shop in Pinellas Park, where we create a lot of experiences for the arts, and we have every fourth Saturday an art walk. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome, waving to you. Be right over on that side so you can see.
Good, actually looks good.
And then you are doing, hi, anyone that's tuning into Robin's Instagram right now, you are at the Complete Sweet Shop, and we are live talking to them with their work, Dylan Todd Photography and Robin Crosa Art. We're also going to be speaking with Derek of the Social Art Guide. That's Derek Kearney at Social Art Guide, and that's the one that I'm trying to tag right now before I go. There you are, fabulous. So you've got all those handles. Oh, and of course me, Linda Costa Photography. You can follow me as well. And let's get started. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining us at the Complete Sweet Shop. Again, I'm here with artist Robin Crosa and artist Dylan Todd. They're both local to our region and work with different mediums. Robin works with these beautiful boards, and she paints onto them and collages onto them, and she's going to talk a little bit about her process and her purpose. And I wanted Dylan to do the same with his beautiful photography that he's been doing for years. He used to have a studio at our Pinellas Park Art Village here at 5663. You can follow them as well. We're right across from Derek Donnelly's studio here at the Cove Gallery. We've got the studios at 5663, and then we're here at the Complete Sweet Shop, where we also show work. Our lovely owner of the establishment, who's also our baker, Del Simpson, is fantastic. She's been nurturing artists locally for years, for 6 years since she opened the shop. And so we're really proud to have Dylan back, in fact, because you've already worked with Del, didn't you, Dylan?
Yeah, one of the first shows that I had in the Pinellas Park Arts Village was in Del's cupcake shop while I was opening my first studio in the Arts Village. So it was kind of cool, you know, to help share me with the community, and I'm grateful for that opportunity and for the opportunity to show work again.
And you also brought delicious cookies. I want you to mention your own brand, because I didn't tag them yet, but I'll try and do it at the end. Do you guys have those?
Yeah, so my husband and I just started a cookie baking company called Bay Bay Bakes. So we make hand-decorated sugar cookies.
And they're delicious and divine looking. I mean, they're just beautiful. I'm still working out things that I can do with Dylan creatively because they do such beautiful work. But we were very happy to support their brand for our art walk, although 100% of everything else is made by Del's goddess hands. So we do love to support artists, entrepreneurs, and our community here at the shop. So we're really proud to have Dylan. And we're really proud to have Robin as well. I told her that I'm happy to be represented here in your work, essentially because we have this commonality of culture and Latin heritage and the way that we speak to our ancestry and our creativity. So tell me a little bit about you, Robin. Tell me about your work. I'm really very excited to have you.
Thank you so much. I started painting boards many years ago when I still lived in Georgia, and I was in a country shop in the middle of the woods in Georgia, somewhere in the backwoods, and I saw a basket of boards sitting in a country shop, and I looked at the basket of boards, and it looked like the boards were me and my mother and my sisters all sitting together. And so I decided to take the boards home and paint them and turn them into a family portrait of myself and my mother and my sisters. And that's how I got started painting boards because I felt like they just looked like women, and so I decided to personify them, and that's how the idea for Gorgeous Goddess Gals came about. And I wanted my gourds to be fertility symbols and altar pieces for women to do rituals and rites of passage. And as I started to find out, gourds are actually a symbol for indigenous people all over the world. That all over the world, the indigenous people of every tradition see gourds as being a symbol of the Great Mother, and they see gourds as being a symbol of Mother Nature and the Great Goddess and the Great Divine Creator, and they're a symbol of divine femininity. And gourds are actually the oldest domesticated plant in the world, and the first cups and bowls that human beings ever made were made out of gourds. And so for me,
You mentioned fire to me the other day.
Right.
I was fascinated by this, and I hope you guys are as fascinated as I am about her, not just the process and how she got to it, but the history behind what it means and how, again, very primal, this very, earth-centered, nature-centered, work. So tell me about the fire. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you made it in. We've got shoppers as well as a film going on, but please.
Oh, Lane
well,
White?
not at all. There are cameras here, but you are fine, sir. I'm still be happy to bring it around to you.
yeah, when human beings first discovered fire, they used to keep them in little gourds. They used to keep the fires burning in little gourds, and that's how they transported fire and kept the fire burning in order to warm their hearth and in order to cook food and protect themselves from animals. So gourds bring us back to our most ancient selves, and I wanted gourds to be a symbol of fertility for women, of our most ancient body wisdom, and our most ancient symbols of strength and health and the wisdom of our body that comes to us from the most primitive times that we can remember.
So there's like this wisdom of the ancient, I feel like, wisdom of the indigenous, wisdom of the mother that you kind of transmute through your work. And I really love your work. So if you see it here on this edge of the room, these are some of Robin's mermaids and goddesses. They're devotional pieces that she created. As she said, they're meant to be enjoyed both as art and as ritual pieces, and they have a lot of intention behind them. And it's beautiful. I'm so glad to bring it. And I think the other part of it that we haven't talked about is the Latin heritage component. I feel like some of the goddesses that you particularly work with, I've also worked with, and we have this similarity between our bodies work that makes me really happy. Like, oh, another Latina talking about the Orishas, like in some way we're revering that
Right.
truth of the.
I do my gourds after women from mythology, and I do traditions. Some of them are Latin American goddesses. Some of them are named after the Orishas. Some of them are Santeria goddesses. And on the table I've got the Madonna and Child, and I've done them as a traditional Madonna and Child. I've done a Guadalupe, and I've done the Black Madonna to show all the different diaspora of Latin America, to show all the women of Latin America as a Madonna and Child, and to show the diversity of Latin America and of Latin culture. And so I create goddesses from traditions all around the world, and I use the mythology of indigenous people and cultures from all around the world.
I love your work, and I'm so glad that you come and show me it here with us. I'm going to make sure to check in with Dylan about his work now. Dylan, tell me a bit about the pieces that you have. We have some images here around the room that are, some of them look like shots from above of beautiful beaches. We've got, Pete Buttigieg and his campaign here, this beautiful image of
it's really diverse. I work as the photographer and one of the creative designers for Watermark, which is an LGBT newspaper. So I have the opportunity to cover events like Pete Buttigieg coming to St. Pete, rainbow flags being unfurled, pride events. This image right in the middle of the Parliament House was an LGBTQ resort that closed in Orlando after being open for 45 years. So I have the opportunity to kind of photograph my community, which I'm very grateful for. Outside of that, I also work as a wedding photographer and a real estate photographer, which is how I got into drone work. And I also do fine artwork. So this image of myself, most of my fine artwork is self as subject. So I have a photograph of myself at this RV sign wearing this sort of comedic cowboy getup.
Comedic? I think it's real fresh. I love it.
It's a little fresh.
It's a little bit sexy.
They look so good. It's a beautiful portrait of him. I'm not sure if the phones are doing it justice, but it's him. Thank you so much, sir. So we have him in front of the RV sign and it says roast beef. It's delicious. And he's holding his cowboy hat and he's got a vest and the sun is hitting him just right. His beautiful golden sparkly hair. It's just a very beautiful and also heartwarming, playful image, and it just shows the range of the work that Dylan is capable of doing and why I'm so proud to be sharing his work here. Dylan, tell me, have you had any other exhibitions as far as your fine art work that you've been sharing, or are there any projects in the works that you'd like to talk to us about?
I think so. I do have I have a studio currently in the Warehouse Arts District. So it's a portrait and fine art studio. The walls there rotate every month for their art walk. And I recently submitted work or had work shown at Chad Meis's gallery. He does an annual LGBTQ art show. So it's my second year participating in that. But as far as any specific large shows, there's not much. I'm trying to figure out what I want to focus on in whatever spare time I can find to make something a little bit more cohesive to start sending out to other places.
Art takes time. There's no
Takes time.
rush.
I know.
We wait 20 years for a good Sade album. It's okay. Don't worry. We know it's worth it, Dylan. Whatever you're bringing in, I just want to make sure to give you a moment to shout out. And that's wonderful. I didn't know about you having fresh work every month, rotating at your gallery. So I definitely want to check that out, and I hope you do too. And Robin, is there anything that you want to tell us about yourself and what your projects are currently? Because I know you said you have a show tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, my work is going to be appearing at the House of Shadows Gallery in Tampa.
That's exciting.
And also I've been selected to show my work at the Largo Public Library. That's going to be in a few months, so that's
You're
coming
I
up.
love it.
Yeah, so that'll be later on. And, just up and coming.
Exciting. Wonderful. Congratulations. I know you just took work down from Florida Craft Arts. You had a few shows that you've got recently.
Yeah, I was selected to be an emerging artist for the Florida Craft Art 2020 Festival.
That's so wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you mentioned emerging artists. I want to make sure to shout out my friends John Gascott and Mason Garrett. I missed it, but I was so proud of your emerging artist experience. I saw the images, and I can't wait to go see the show myself. Congratulations to our local artists in the Tampa Bay region who are doing good things and expressing themselves in new ways. I'd like at this time to invite one of our dear friends who's going to be actually our future artist. This talk was primarily for Dylan and Robin, who were our artists for Sweet Art Pride Edition. But right now I'd like to invite D-Rock the Almighty One, Derek Kearney, also of the Social Art Guide, to come and speak with us. Sister Robin, so I can speak with Derek. Derek, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Derek, you're multitasking today. Tell everybody how hard I'm working you. Go ahead and tell them.
So I haven't been on camera because I've been behind the cameras, and there's actually 4 of them going right now.
That's right.
So-
Welcome everyone. I'm so grateful for your help. He's really supporting us in the technological department today, as well as sharing some of his work. I'm going to start off with this beautiful bottle of wine because I'm sure everybody's like, wine at the cupcake shop, what's going on? And we're just here to show the label. Feel free to go ahead and bring that up close so they can see some of your artistry.
Okay, yeah. This is a red Moscato wine. It's done by Sip and Share Wines, which is a winery out of Indiana. I should know this stuff. Yeah, it's a winery out of Indiana. My cousin actually runs the winery, and it's a beautiful wine. I personally have not tried this yet, but it's probably because it's been a couple years since I've had any alcohol. But
Hey, you gotta live life the way you need to. That's wonderful.
you know, and it's just an amazing thing to have there. But the piece that's on it is actually called. Oh,
Is this the piece right here?
Yes, that's the one
Let's
behind
bring it
us,
out.
yeah,
Maybe
thank
that'll help. Maybe the
liberation.
Liberation.
Yeah, liberation.
I
It's
like
a prayer
that.
for the overwhelmed.
A prayer for the overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful message. Tell me a little bit about what inspired this piece and that title. Very poetic and powerful. No wonder you had a hard time putting back.
Yeah, it's something that was inspired this past year. I actually had an experience where I was able to do a liberation ceremony. This past year's been tough on everyone. So just being able to have some sort of, way to let go of a lot of that sort of stress and stress basically was wonderful there. So I was able to participate in the ceremony, and I wanted to kind of document that in art, which is something I've just been able to do, is document different parts of my life in paintings.
I love it. And tell us a little bit about your process, because it's a very unique process. It's a really fun process, and it's become very something that people are really engaged in. And I'm a personal fan and collect your work in any way that I can, Derek. So go on and talk about it.
So what I do is it's called fluid abstract art, better known as acrylic pouring. And basically you take the paint colors that you like to use, mix them together with a pouring medium of choice. There's some parts that, you'd have to go on my YouTube channel to figure out the rest, basically. But, yeah, you basically mix the paints together and put them together either in a cup or directly on the painting. There's a few different techniques that are involved. I believe this one here, what I did was I poured the paints on together in one cup and then took a towel or something and kind of swipe over it to make the different designs there. So
Interesting.
yeah, it opens up between the paint mixtures and different additives and stuff. It opens up what's called cells, which are the little circles that go inside of it.
They're called what?
Cells,
Cell. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
like cellular, cells.
Very cool. No, it's beautiful. I love that. It gets so ornate. And I'm pointing to something very tiny that you won't be able to see, but basically Derek creates jewelry out of the pieces that are left behind from some of these paintings, which I think is fabulous. These are all actually a part of his process, and miniature little paintings that I get to wear as art. He does pendants, he does, bracelets, all kinds of different pieces, which also makes it a lot more accessible. I can't collect a, $500 piece or $1,000 piece every day, but I can get these, $20 earrings out, and that way I get to represent my community and be a part of it. So I love that Derek has that flexibility of price point within his work, because that can be a very limiting thing, both as artist and collector, But yeah, so tell me a little bit about creating the jewelry and selling. What is it that you want to most let us know about your works right now, what your projects are?
I'm trying to think of what you didn't say that I needed to say there. That was pretty much my spill, yeah. I wanted to just find a way to, I know myself personally, I can't afford a $500 piece for everyone, but I can afford a $10 pendant, $20 pair of earrings. I can afford a mask. This is actually,
Oh yeah, show those off real close, real quick, because the camera ain't gonna do it justice from the angle.
well, one of the things, last year, we're all in a pandemic and you gotta wear a mask. So, okay, I just took some artwork. This is actually a piece that I did with my mom on it there. And here's another one just of like a beach, that I did. But I took some artwork pieces and started putting masks on that. And, the mask turned into.
Show me a cap. I love your caps. I had to buy one for my 12-year-old because she's real French like that. And this is Derek's, I think, go-to that he wears. But I love it. This is one of his paintings, but he printed it on this hat, and it's got the beach vibe, but it is an abstract, So you see it from a distance, it wears well, and it's really fun. It's just colorful, expressive. I love it. Very fresh.
I can't think of a more appropriate prayer for 2020 than liberation, a prayer for the overwhelmed. That's exactly what I need right
For
now.
that prayer, Derek.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it really was, you know, it was a real time period for me of just transformation and just, you know, the before and after and everything. So being able to, you know, it's something that I still have to go to. I still have to say that prayer and, you know, spend that time with it.
Yeah, you're definitely on the shaman's path, for real.
Oh, I love it. No, I think, you know, we're all making very intentional work, sometimes even, you know, connecting to our, you know, our core needs and desires, what our spirit guides us to do. I think we're all very focused on telling our story through that lens of the intimate, right? And so I'm really grateful to have all of you. You know, I know Robin's got her pieces here. I've got a couple of little snakes and mermaids that I created with similar intent, where, you know, through the pandemic, they were just coming out of me. You know, every time I looked, there was another snake ready to bake, and you know, it was just out of the need to push something out and physically push it out, but also the need to like pray for some balance, some harmony, to create some beauty out of all that chaos that 2020 gave us. That 2021 continues to turn, but you know, there's a lot of good. There's all this ground being turned up. It's fertile and ready for new life. So I see it blooming all around me here in the Pinellas Arts Village. I hope you guys join us again. Thank you very much to Dylan Todd Photography at Dylan Todd Photography, to Robin Crosa at GGG Robin Crosa, and to Derek Kearney at D-Rock, the Almighty One, or
The social archive.
the Social Archive. So
It's GGG by Robin.
by Robin, I'm so sorry. GGG by Robin, I did that wrong. And the art walk you cannot miss is every fourth Saturday. The one that's coming up, we're going to be debuting Derek's pieces, which are not up on the wall yet, but are about to go up right now. So thank you so much for joining our lives. Come back on fourth Saturday, which is not tomorrow, but next Saturday. And the whole of Pinellas Arts Village is going to be here celebrating and having fun. So come on out. It's going to be from 4 to 8 p.m., but we're here from 10 to 8. So we'll see you then. And thanks again for joining all of our lives. Thank you from Robin. Thank you from Dylan. Thank you from Derek. I'm going to go ahead and turn everything off. Oh, and before I do, if you're watching right now, 81 Bay Brewing tonight, Tampa Bay. Go on, find out. It's going to be a great show. Veterans Art Show. I have a piece that already sold, but it's debuting tonight called Pietà. It's a beautiful portrait of a local veteran with her small child, and it's a really beautiful piece I hope to share with you, but there's going to be so many other artists involved in this show. It's hosted by Paint 22, which is a great local veterans organization that brings art to veterans and brings the veterans to the arts. So if you are interested in that kind of an event, come on down to 81 Bay Brewing tonight. It starts at 6 p.m. and I'll see you there. Thanks again from the Complete Sweet Shop. Follow us at Complete Sweet Shop, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.